the question that's always on my mind around this hour of the day, every weekday. And that question, of course, is what the Ron?
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American.
Yes. So Ricky, Biden believes that half the country is garbage. Now they've all tried to walk it back and say there was an apostrophe there when he said that, which I don't even know what it means. He clearly thinks that Trump supporters are garbage, which I will say it's better than being a Nazi. So I'd rather be garbage than a Nazi.
Yeah, if that's the binary that you have to choose from if you don't support Kamala Harris, I guess that is a better option than being a Nazi. But it's just so funny to me to hear the same people that take a joke, and we can argue over whether or not it was a great political idea to have Tony Hinchcliffe doing Tony Hinchcliffe humor at that Madison Square Garden event, especially with all of the overly dramatic coverage that you knew it was going to receive by, from MSNBC and CNN and all of the usual suspects that are going to take any Donald Trump thing and spin it in the absolute most negative way possible. Why do you want to just serve something like that up on a silver platter? But it's amusing to me to see all of the hand wringing and pearl clutching going on by those over a joke that the guy told about Puerto Rico, at the same time that those same folks have no problem labeling half of their fellow American citizens as Nazis or as garbage. So it's one of those things where we can say what we want to say, and it's not even in the context of a joke. Tony Hinchcliffe was clearly a comedian doing a comedy bit. Maybe you think it's funny, maybe you don't think it's funny, but what a comedian is doing is far different than Kamala Harris looking out at the world with her serious face and saying that half of America supports a Nazi or Hitler's heir. So, come on, you're going to be offended by a joke and you're going to have no problem labeling half the country as Nazis or Nazi sympathizers. I find that to be just without any reason or sense whatsoever.
Yeah, it's just another example of the hypocrisy. I mean, we see it every day, and I guess we just have to learn to live with it. That this is these are the rules of the games, right? The games right now is that we have to play by those rules, and I guess we have to be more careful. And I saw Trump was on Hannity last night, and he completely distanced himself from it, and he said, didn't even know that this guy was going to be on there. And I'd kind of say, well, you should have probably known who was going to be on there, and whoever was in charge or whoever his right-hand man was or right-hand woman was for that event probably should have vetted Tony a little bit better in terms of what he was going to say. But yeah, it was a joke. And then at the end of the day, he went up
there and did what he does. What he did that's his act. He is a comic who says things that some people are going to label offensive. I think you pretty much know that going in with him.
Well, actually, an interesting kind of follow-up to that was I had never heard this term before last night, but I guess the congressman, congresswoman, congresspeople, if you're in Puerto Rico, you're called a shadow congressman, shadow congresswoman. And anyway, that person is a woman, and she spoke last night in Pennsylvania, and she endorsed Donald Trump. So she wasn't too offended. And I've seen other things where they were interviewing Puerto Ricans in New York, and they said, yeah, we're not offended. We like Donald Trump. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's faux offense for the most part. There might be a handful of people who are offended. It's a joke. Maybe you thought it was funny. Maybe you didn't think it was funny, but to hold it up as some example of hate from these hateful extremist people is just more absurdity. What else have we got, Ron? We got anything a little bit lighter to take us to the finish line today?
Did you know, I know we're not neither one of us are big NBA fans, but did you know that the Clippers and the Lakers are no longer sharing an arena?
I did not know that, actually.
Yeah, so the uber rich Steve Ballmer of Microsoft, who bought the Clippers how many years ago, built the it's called the Inuit Dome, and they have some really, really cool features there. One of them is it's called the Wall, and it goes up 50, 55, 51 consecutive rows straight up. And I don't know if we have any pictures or video. There we go. Look at that, Ricky. Is that imposing or what? So when you're shooting free throws, you're the opposing team shooting free throws. That's what you're staring at. And I guess it is just crazy. It's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen pictures or videos of a supporters section for soccer, especially soccer in Europe or in South America. They're just rabid, crazy fans. So the people that sit there are the most rabid, crazy fans. But this arena has this one's good. 1,100 toilets and urinals. It's got a really cool interactive screen, and they're actually going to be hosting the 2026 NBA All-Star game. So yeah, so the big thing here is the Lakers and the Clippers don't share an arena anymore.
Well, I think we've got a clip of Steve Ballmer. Let's take a look at what the Clippers owner says.
Hey, yo! Hey, yo! Not really saying much, man. You just gotta walk there.
Can you imagine being that excited to attend a Los Angeles Clippers game, Ron? Still
Dude's
just the fucking Clippers. Calm down a little bit.
The dude is worth $147 billion. He's the one guy that I see out there that's living how I would if I had $147 billion. I'd buy a team and I would be as crazy as I wanted to be, and I would just have fun. Speaking of NBA and courts, you've been dying for this, Ricky, because I know what's your favorite tournament in all of sports? It's the NBA Cup, right? The in-season tournament for the NBA. Yeah, it's what you live for. You want that as bad as I want football, right? Like I just can't wait all summer for football. Can't wait.
I know the Lakers. I know the Lakers won the NBA Cup last year. I can't remember who won the championship because for me,
there's the courts.
After the Cup was decided, the NBA playoffs were a little bit of a anticlimax there.
Yeah. Are you checking out these courts?
Look at these. Look at these courts.
Yeah. So this is
the
what
prestige is radiating from these courts.
Yeah, they're kind of awful.
The NBA Cup is like the employee of the month of professional sports. What does it matter a flying fuck that the Lakers won the NBA Cup last year? You won some meaningless in the middle of the season thing that nobody gives a shit about, and we're supposed to care? I can't believe that they're continuing to try to push this thing. It's the stupidest fucking thing that I think I've ever seen in sports. They're taking something that works in soccer because it's different leagues, and they're just sorting it out with their own teams during the regular season and then crowning a real champion at the end of the year.
Yep.
So this is just, I don't get it. Dwayne Wade's statue in Miami. A lot of conversation. The Miami Heat honoring Dwayne Wade, the first statue that the Heat organization has ever put up for a player. And of course, Dwayne Wade led them to their first championship, and he won a couple more with LeBron later on. The man he's an icon in the annals of Miami Heat basketball, and it seems like a statue was a fine idea. Let's put a statue of Dwayne Wade up outside the arena. What could possibly go wrong? And then we saw the statue. Oh my God, the memes are killing me. We're going to get to some of the memes in a little bit, but this statue is so bad. Even the great Charles Barkley has weighed in, and Charles says it needs to come down. Let's take a look at what Charles Barkley had to say about Dwayne Wade's hideous statue.
You got to take that thing down.
No, it was animated.
No, not animated.
If you made an animated face and then they made a bronze statue,
if you made an ugly statue, that's what it would look like. That thing's awful.
It's not awful. Look, he's making an animated face.
Yeah.
It's a moment.
That was after he saw the statue right there. that's the face he made after he saw that.
One of the best reactions I saw was that, look, if you showed that to 1,000 people and didn't say who just got a statue, would you ever say, "Oh yeah, that's Dwayne Wade"?
I would have said Dwayne Wade making an animated face.
Hey, you know what? hey, Kenny, the statue was so bad they had to put all his stats behind it so you know who it was.
He looks like a guy from The Walking Dead. It's taken me a while to figure it out, but Dwayne Wade there looks like he's chasing somebody down on a Walking Dead episode. You need a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire to fight off statue Dwayne Wade because he's hungry for brains. God damn it. Dwayne Wade himself, however, is still trying to convince himself, at least publicly, that the statue's just fine. Nothing to see here. Dwayne Wade says, if I wanted it to look like me, I'd just stand outside the arena and y'all can take photos. It doesn't need to look like me. It's the artistic version of a moment that happened that we're trying to submit. I don't know a lot of people with statues. Do you? Anybody here? Y'all know anything about the process of a statue? No one out there does either, and so it's an unbelievable process to be a part of. It's a complicated process, but Dwayne Wade's internal monologue is saying, they made me look like a goddamn zombie. Why do I look undead? I don't recall being undead during either of my title eras in Miami. So Dwayne Wade is being classy about it, but it feels like he's trying to talk himself into it, doesn't it? He had to be horrified. You get an honor like this, and now you're the laughing stock of the internet. Let me bring in now the international streaming star from Nashville, Tennessee. Ronnie T-Shirts joins the program. Ronnie, we were sharing some memes last night in the show group chat of this statue, and I was rolling, and I said to you and producer Tim and Jared in the thread, this isn't going to get old for me. I feel like I've got a solid month or two of looking at Dwayne Wade statue memes, and just every one is going to be as funny as the first time.
Well, the funniest line out of that whole clip with Barkley was he looks like Dwayne Wade after he saw the statue of Dwayne Wade.
Yes, that was a great line. I agree. Dwayne Wade is trying so hard to be a good company man and not throw the statue makers under the bus. I wonder how much involvement Dwayne had during the process. That's a question that I have. Did they come to him and say, what do you think of this? Do you like this? Is it truly a surprise and he doesn't see it until the unveiling? It seems like it sort of pushes the bounds of logic for me to think that the first time he saw it was when they unveiled it. He had to have a heads up of what this thing was going to look like, I would think.
Yeah, man. What tells me that there's a problem with the sculptor is, I don't know if they can throw the sculpture back up there, but look at the amazing detail of his uniform. Like everything from the ribs in his waistband to the wrinkles, like it's perfect. Like, so if they can get that dead on, there's no reason they can't get his face dead on. And listen, we've all seen a million busts from Hall of Fame stuff. All right, Ricky, I'm going to let you go.
There we
The
go.
meme.
There we go. No, I was just going to say all they need to do is just decapitate that thing.
Yeah.
The rest of it seems to be fine.
Perfect.
So it seems to me, I'm no sculpting expert. I'm a few credits shy of my sculpting degree, Ron. But I will say, it seems that all you got to do is just Ted Williams that thing. Just take the head off, and rather than cryogenically freeze it, just burn it with fire, smelt it, or whatever you have to do to turn it into something else. Make a pair of earrings for somebody or something.
Look at that
Here,
matrix
have a look
right
at
there.
this one. Yeah, you just got to decapitate him and put a new head on that thing. And the whole statue doesn't have to. He looks like a burn victim. He looks a little bit like Freddy Krueger's brother. Maybe. I don't know. A zombie. The thing of it is if they make a statue of you to honor you, things like he looks like Freddy Krueger's brother, or I think it's a zombie, those types of comments should just never come into play, Ron.
I agree. All right. I really hope they show the other ones, the other memes that we were looking, that we were there. Look at
Yeah, here we go.
Look at the one with the Gabby
Here
Union.
we go. What a joyous occasion a wedding is. Am I right? And then, of course, who can forget when LeBron and Chris Bosh joined D Wade in Miami?
Not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7.
Well, they got 2, and then, about 10 years later, Dwayne Wade got that head slapped.
What's the one with the turtleneck supposed to be? I don't know what that one is.
I don't know. I didn't see that. I didn't see that one. Look at this. That's Han Solo, I believe. Ronnie, there, as I'm looking at this, but pretty sad situation here.
You know
for
who
Dwayne
they should have
Wade.
got?
I mean, I almost hate to kick the guy while he's down here, but
Hey.
it just, because I'm 12 years old on the inside, it just doesn't cease to amuse me.
This would not have happened had they got the sculptor from the Hello video. No chance. That thing would have been dead on.
Man, what I wouldn't give for somebody to just take the head off of that statue and replace it with Lionel Richie's sculpted head from the Hello video. There's so many problems with the Hello video. We're going to have to break that down one day. It's dating a blind student that's half his age. She's been feeling his head enough that she feels confident. She got pretty close, Ron. Not close enough, obviously, but, hey, take a look at this. I'm glad we don't have to look at Dwayne Wade's head through a Viewmaster. I don't think I could handle that shit.
Dude,
Remember the
Viewmasters were
Viewmasters,
everything.
Ron?
They were everything.
Viewmasters were fucking awesome.
Oh, God.
What would they have? About 21 pictures that you would cycle through, something like that. You could get your favorite TV shows. You could get historical stuff.
Yep. Like nature stuff.
Wide variety. Yeah.
Yeah. It was awesome. Is it funny, man? Like you can get exactly the same thing that those, man, they're just firing these up here now. The exact same thing on your phone, right? Like you can just start like looking at pictures of national parks and learn about it that way. But there's something about how we did it that just, I don't know, brings you all back in your feels. Like Viewmasters were awesome. And honestly, what an amazing gift or a thing to have, because all your mom and dad or your grandma and grandpa had to do was just give you a new set of reels and you were happy, right? Like you didn't have to get a whole new toy. You just got some new reels. Oh, they were fantastic, Ricky.
Yeah, they tossed you 2 or 3 reels and you'd just stay out of their fucking way for probably 3 or 4 hours. They could just heat up a lung dart and watch some TV and didn't have to worry about our dumb asses, because when we got a Viewmaster reel, we thought that we'd been handed the keys to the kingdom. Ronnie, did you see last night, Tom Brady is facing some criticism this morning. What else would we have in life in this modern 21st century world if people weren't being criticized and up in arms and clutching pearls on the internet every day of the week? But today's mini controversy that we'll all forget about in about 8 minutes is that Tom Brady made a comment last night about Josh Allen, or he made it about Josh Allen. I don't guess it was last night. It was Sunday, rather. What is this, Ron? Is it Wednesday? Where am I? What day of the week is this?
No idea.
It was on Sunday. Tom Brady, of course. There is no Tuesday night football yet that I'm aware of.
It's coming.
Made a comment about Josh Allen that some are saying was completely out of bounds. Let's go ahead and take a listen to Tom Brady Sunday covering the Bills and Josh Allen.
Loves it speaks so much more than just the physical ability of a quarterback. You really began to take that total ownership of the team as a leader in workouts in the off season. How you communicate to everybody and integrate new players becomes a great challenge for a quarterback like Josh, who has really lit the league on fire since he's been in. Sometimes he played like a spaz, like a grade schooler on a sugar high. But now he's controlled the chaos. He's like a storm coming into town, and you don't want that storm coming into this town.
Oh, I like it. It's like a movie trailer.
Well, Ron, as you might imagine, grade schoolers on sugar highs are deeply
He
offended.
literally described what he was
morning.
talking about.
He said that grade schoolers have sugar highs and consume sugar irresponsibly, which is offensive to all grade schoolers everywhere, Ron. No, the issue at hand is he used the word spaz. He said that Josh Allen could be a bit of a spaz at times in the past, and then he likened him to a sugar-addled grade schooler.
Dude,
But
people
since
just
spaz is short for spastic, and some people have spastic physical limitations, there are those who are saying that it's a derogatory, offensive remark, Ron.
those that are just constantly waking up every single day hoping to be offended. They're just looking for things to make themselves be offended by. It's just ridiculous. I mean, he literally said the word and gave an immediate description of what he was talking about. It's not like he called him a spaz and then 2 days later, because there was all kind of backlash, said, oh, no, what I meant was this. He literally said it in the same breath. People just love being offended, Ricky.
Well, here you can see a characterization of it. This is from Awful Announcing. Spaz was a strange choice. It's been deemed wildly offensive in the UK because of its history as an ableist slur for people with disabilities. It goes on to say it's not as considered quite as offensive in the United States, but it's still meant as an insult to describe clumsiness, stupidity, or physical ineptness. I really don't think anybody who uses that word is thinking of any actual person with a handicap or a physical disability. I mean, at a certain point, it's like we can choose to be offended by everything if we want to, Ron. If we want to start splitting hairs, like the Notre Dame fighting Irish, like, what, are you saying that the Irish are violent? Could there be a group of Irish people who could speak up one day and say, well, hey, wait a minute, why are you characterizing us as belligerent? We're peace-loving people. It's at some point, you just have to understand the spirit and context that something is said in, and understand that not everything is about trying to denigrate or harm others. I'm sure that was the last thing that was on Tom Brady's mind.
Well, Ricky, that thing you just read, it clearly said that in the UK, it's offensive. Well, the last I saw, Tom Brady was announcing in the United States. But if you want to go ahead and use that argument, the UK says a lot of stuff that we don't say over here because we don't say it, right? They've got a term for cigarettes. I'm not going to say it, but we all know what it is. They liberally use the C word all the time, and that's like the worst the worst thing you can say over here when speaking about women. So it's a terrible argument to say, well, in the UK, it's offensive. Again, people just like to be.
If we wanted to use the
offended.
UK as our standard for offensiveness, we wouldn't have fought the Revolutionary War, Ron.
There
We
you
won,
go.
so we don't
America.
have to be beholden to what the UK's standards are for anything. Look, Ron, Tom Brady's having a rough week. This happens. He's fending off the allegations that he has slurred an entire group of people. And also the news dropping, if that's not enough, adding insult to injury, his ex-wife, Gisele, the supermodel. What is she, Brazilian?
She's
Brazilian
Brazilian.
supermodel, Ron. That's the best kind, some would say. She has announced she's pregnant with child. The jiu-jitsu instructor that stole her away from Tom Brady has now fertilized her egg, Ronnie. And Tom Brady, whether coincidentally or on purpose, look at this Instagram post from Tom Brady. We have a screenshot here. He posts the sun going down, and the music that accompanied this visual was Landslide. And the most offensive thing Tom Brady has done this week is he didn't use the Fleetwood Mac version. He used the version by the Chicks, who were formerly the Dixie Chicks, who changed their name from the Dixie Chicks because that was supposed to be offensive, Ron.
Oh God!
So
Ricky.
it all comes together here.
I don't know that song. Can you give me a quick few lines of it? I'm dead serious.
First of all, I'm not going to be baited into singing Landslide on this program today. Second of all, I really hope that you're kidding. And I have no idea what that song.
I mean,
please.
I might know the song. I just don't know the name of it. Seriously, give me a couple bars.
It's the song where she says landslide a lot. Ron, there's your first fucking clue. Listen to Fleetwood Mac's Rumors album. For God's sake, Ron. I'm telling you, they didn't train you well enough in Mother Russia. You're showing your cracks here, my brother. Let's go to the poll of the day. See if you can redeem yourself here.
Can you redeem yourself? That's the question.
Over at Super 70 Sports. I'm not in need of redemption, sir. Because
hey, I'm breaking the circle of trust
America
right now.
The poll of the day. All right.
I'm going to break the circle of trust right now.
Oh God.
Well, hey Ricky, so three quarters of that poll were my doings. You took out one of mine and put in $6 Million Man. But
I did.
You have a problem with me not knowing what the hell landslide is. So why don't you tell America which one of my three that I had up there you didn't know what it was? Go ahead, tell them.
I didn't know what General Tso's chicken was.
Come on.
I've heard of it, but I didn't know if it was you told me it's a dish. I thought it was like a fucking chain.
Literally,
we had Colonel Sanders in Kentucky. I don't know General Tso.
Don't ever.
Well, see, I don't roll with the Chinese Communist Party like you and Tim Walz, brother.
Well,
I'm not even. I think I'm just increasing my American credibles by not knowing enough about communist chicken dishes.
And you're painting yourself into a corner because General Tso's chicken is actually an American creation. So you should just own it, man. Just own it.
General Tso sounds like he's from China. I don't know. Well, anyway, but I did not know that. So
it's my poll. It's my poll. So you break it down.
All right. Well, it's 75% your poll. I will just go ahead and say, what did I pull in favor of $6 Million Man? Tom and Jerry. Yeah. Which is like a favorite of 80-year-olds. You motherfucker, going back for, tomorrow you're going to suggest the Katzenjammer Kids for this poll. Okay, so let me break this down. I added $6 Million Man. I'm going to go $6 Million Man here. So I'm Not that I'm trying to win the poll, Ron. I'm not rooting for it to win, but I would take the $6 Million Man. Public Enemy is fine. I know a handful of Public Enemy songs. Chuck D follows me, so shout out to Chuck D. But I'm
Like the power.
you know, Public Enemy is fine, but not a favorite. Randy Moss is probably the second best wide receiver in NFL history, in my opinion, behind only Jerry Rice. I think Randy thinks he's the best, but I'm going to put him at number 2 all time. Saw him play many years ago. He came out, started warming up with a fan in the first row of the end zone. Just came out with a football and played catch with some fan for about 4 or 5 minutes to get loose. And I thought that was one of the cooler things that I've seen at an NFL game. I don't know anything about that chicken other than I don't think I would like it, Ron.
Oh my God,
because
you would
I'm
love
not a
it.
big. Would I like it?
So
Okay,
good.
well maybe do they have it at Panda Express?
Yeah, probably.
All right, well maybe I'll look into it and report back to you. So
Tell you what, you go
out
to
of
Panda
these
Express.
4 options.
Go to
Yeah.
Panda Express, get it. All right. Give me your honest reaction to it. If you like it, you pay for it. If you don't like it, I'll Venmo you whatever it costs.
Wow. I'm just impressed that you trust my honor enough to risk
do.
that $8 or whatever it is. All right,
I
you got
trust you.
yourself a deal. $6 Million Man is my choice. Ronnie, second place, Randy Moss, but sometimes Randy got on my nerves a little bit. So I'll go with Colonel Steve Austin here. Tell me your vote, and then we'll turn it over to producer Tim.
I went with the general. But one thing I want to add, and I know lots of people know this, but Randy Moss and Jason Williams played on the same high school basketball team. I cannot
Ronnie T-shirt's
imagine
gone
how.
mute.
No,
Now you're back.
Oh, there we are.
I'm hoping we hit the 7-second delay on you because you just unleashed a barrage of profanities. But that doesn't seem to be the case.
I don't know if you heard me. I said I'm going with the general, but a fact. I think it's a well-known fact, but I always like to throw it out there is that Randy Moss and Jason Williams played on the same high school basketball team, and I cannot imagine how much fun it would have been to watch them play.
And you mean white chocolate Jason Williams, not I
The
shot
one and
the
only.
limo driver Jason Williams?
Yeah, not the.
All right, let's take a look. Let's move it along. Keep this show crack-a-lacking.
My man Tim.
Producer Tim. Oh, look at that. The general is winning. No thanks to me and my dumb ass. Because I don't even understand what's happening. The $6 Million Man in second place, Randy Moss running a respectable third, and Public Enemy bringing up the rear today. Ron, any surprise there for you? You did tell me earlier when we were texting that the general might win today, and it appears that is in fact the case.
Yeah, it's you're gonna. I'm telling you, when you go, you're gonna tell me you like it. I am surprised that Public Enemy was that low, but hell. That's what Stevie Wonder was too, right? So who knows?
Yeah, I'm questioning the musical taste here a little bit of the audience. Well, while we're on the subject of things that are happening over at Super 70s Sports, we might as well take a look at what I'm tweeting, shall we? I do like to tweet. Can't get enough of it. Might as well face it. I'm addicted to tweeting. Maybe Robert Palmer can show up in a poll soon, Ronnie. Take a look at this. While we're on the subject of music, Barry Manilow, Ronnie, who is well known for Copacabana and Mandy and a wide variety of other hits. I believe he's still out there doing his thing, and his fans are known as Fanilows, Ron, but he wrote, you may not know this, he wrote Like a Good Neighbor, State Farm is There, that jingle. He used to do commercial jingles back in the day.
I'm not familiar with that one.
He wrote, I'm stuck on Band-Aid brand because Band-Aid's stuck on me. And he wrote, You Deserve a Break Today at McDonald's. Those are all Barry Manilow compositions.
You're not going to sing any of those for us?
Well, you don't know Like a Good Neighbor, State Farm is There, or is this just another sad attempt to make me sing?
Sad attempt.
So you do know it.
Of course I do.
All right, thank God. He didn't, however, as the tweet said, he did not write I Write the Songs.
Makes no sense, does it?
That is probably his biggest hit, I think. It was written by Bruce Johnston of the Beach Boys. How about that? It was written by the fourth or fifth best Beach Boy.
I mean, if you think about it as a, he was, I guess, basically ghostwriting for him there. He's saying, I write the songs that makes the whole world sing. Those jingles, like we all know them and we all sing them, right? If it comes on, you're the minimum singing it in your own head, correct?
Yeah, I mean, every time I look at that tweet, I can hear those jingles. They're earworms, Ron. It's what they are. What else am I tweeting? Here, okay, now this takes me back, Ronnie. This takes me back to 1996. I said 1995 here, but it takes me back to 1996 when I got a 1990 Honda Accord.
Sweet.
Used, obviously, but it was a big upgrade over my 1987 Pontiac Sunbird that was kind of the bane of my existence for a variety of reasons. And I got a Honda Accord and it had the tape deck. And so I would get the portable CD player and then you'd plug that into the portable CD player and insert it into your tape deck and you could listen to CDs in your car, which was about the most futuristic thing I could think of in 1995. I thought I was the shit, Ron.
Dude, is it crazy to think that 25 years later, you can just pull this thing out of your pocket and access literally, I say literally, almost every single song that's ever been recorded in human existence. And 25 years ago, you thought, this is it, man. I've reached the pinnacle.
Dude, 30 years ago. I don't want to make you feel that much older, but I mean, it's almost 30 years.
Well, I'm suggesting that we've been able to do the thing with the phone for 5 years. No, I'm suggesting that we've been able to do it for 5 years.
Oh, well, yeah.
Come on,
I
man.
don't know how long Spotify's been a thing.
Chess
Well, I don't know,
checkers.
Ron. Jesus.
Chess checkers. Go ahead.
Well, Ron, I mean, that was pre-internet. I can barely even remember what life was like before the internet now. I was 20, almost 25 when we got the internet in home, and it was that 28.8K modem. Oh, yeah.
You had to tell your,
And then
you had to
if
tell,
anybody
anybody else
could
couldn't
call
use
you
phone.
then because
Nope.
yeah, you were using the phone to be on the internet and it made that horrible sound when you would dial up. Do you remember when photos would open like JPEGs? They would, yeah, exactly. Everything was very suspenseful.
Yeah.
What's
Porn
gonna
was
happen?
porn was way different back then, wasn't it?
It was very, yes, it was very suspenseful. You'd be like, there's a forehead, there's a nose, there's a clavicle. Oh my gosh, it's about to get interesting now. Let's take a look at one more, shall we? While we're having so much, oh dear, this is a surprise. This isn't one of my tweets. It looks like that is Large, Black, and Johnson from the, is that Iowa? I believe those are Iowa football guys here. So, I don't know, Ron.
Oh, I thought it had something to do.
Maybe those were in some of those JPEGs that you were looking at 30 years ago.
No, I was looking at the numbers. I didn't even see the last names on there. I was trying to see what those numbers meant. 88. It's not 88, 94 too.
Don't look at the number. The numbers are irrelevant, Ron.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah.
I see now.
You're trying to solve a math problem, but this is English class that we're in today. And I don't know. I assume his last name isn't pronounced Large. Is that Large? Who is that young man? I don't know. But obviously Iowa, a powerful force to be reckoned with the Large, Black, Johnson trifecta there. Those three guys are going to pose a problem for any opponent.
Hey, OutKick fans on YouTube, if you enjoyed this episode, hit the subscribe button and make your way over to OutKick.com where you can watch the full episode.